What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sloppy Saturdays. And today we have a very short micropod going over my take on the whole Matt Leinart retired number situation. If anybody doesn't know, Matt Leinart have some comments talking about why would he give his number out that's retired to a possible five-star recruit or a young kid coming into USC program. I wanted to give my thoughts on Matt Leinart's situation with this and then also just number retirements in general when I feel like it's okay for you to give out your retired number. Now, let's get into it. Matt Leinart, obviously one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best players in USC history. That's why his number retired. When you look at his resume, it is absolutely endless. When you look at over 10,000 passing yards, he's third in USC's history in passing yards. You're looking at a guy that was at the Heisman ceremony twice. He was a finalist, and he also did win it in 2004. We're looking at a two-time national champion, depending on if you agree with it or not. When we look at 2003, he was an AP national champion. When we look at 2004, he won the AP NBCS national championship. I mean, you're looking at a guy with an absolute flawless resume. Now, USC has been giving him pressure a little bit to unretire his number, but for USC, it isn't a case for me where, like, USC's running out of numbers. They just want the recruit in the right now to possibly join their program and give them the number, which is like absolutely ridiculous to me. Like, I don't even understand it. Now, when you look at USC, we have seen cases in their program where players' numbers that are retired have given it out to other players. I mean, most famously, most recent, the example of Carson Palmer giving out his number 3 to Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison at the time was an established player at Pitt. He was one of the best receivers in the country. He transfers over to USC. Carson Palmer gives him that number 3. Again, that was Carson Palmer's choice, but that doesn't mean Matt Leinart has to do it. And I think it is utterly ridiculous for USC to ask Matt Leinart to retire his number, especially for some high school recruit that possibly has never even stepped on the field in college football, let alone for USC. And you're looking at one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in your entire program's history, that you reserved that number for and had a ceremony for. It is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. Like, again, when I feel a number could possibly be retired is like, hey, if you're in the NFL and you're on a Hall of Fame trajectory and you possibly switch teams and your number is associated with your brand and a Hall of Famer who has that same number retired may want to give it up to you, again, that makes sense. It's more of an established player. But, like, for everything Matt Leinart has done for USC, to give away that number that, again, is ingrained in USC's legacy to a kid that possibly never stepped on the field. And like he said in the interview, if you guys did watch it on his podcast, like, that could possibly transfer out also in a new age of NIL and college football. Like, I don't even understand. I feel like it's almost disrespectful asking Matt Leinart to do that. And Matt Leinart also said if one of his kids did play for USC, he would unretire the number. Again, that makes sense. Make it stay in the family. And again, always have that same last name associated with your number, associated with your legacy. That's a whole different story that I can respect. But again, even when we look at in recent memory as far as last year, Abdul Carter, arguably the best player in college football at the end of whatever last year you would say 2 years ago, whatever the case may be. He comes in the NFL draft. He asks for all these giant numbers, the giant legends. When you look at a Lawrence Taylor, I don't even know why he asked for Lawrence Taylor's number. He never wore 56 in college, and he asks for Phil Simms to stick with number 11. Again, a legendary giant. Why are these people who, again, never did anything on the field, whether it's in pro or college, asking to unretire these legendary numbers? It is insane to me. Like I said, if it's a family thing, makes sense to me. If you want to keep the number in the family, sure. Or if it's a thing like, hey, you're on a Hall of Fame trajectory in the pros and you switch teams and somebody wants to give you that number because it's associated with your brand, sure, I get that. But what is the point of unretiring numbers? Like, why would you retire them in the first place then? And again, USC, like I said, is not a New York Yankees type of situation where, hey, like, we're running out of numbers now. No, USC only reserves retired numbers for the best players in their program. And when you look at Matt Leinart, you could put his resume against any quarterback to ever play college football. This is a college football Hall of Famer. This is a two-time national champion. This is a Heisman Trophy winner. Like, to unretire his number is absurd. Like I said to me, I think it is utterly ridiculous for Matt Leinart to give up his number 11 with the historic college career he had to give it to a player possibly that has never stepped on USC's field and could transfer out. I 100% agree with you, Matt Leinart. Don't unretire your number for sure. Keep that number ingrained in USC's history. And like I said, I think it's truly disrespectful to even ask of this. Like, USC's not running out of numbers. Like I said, pick a different number. That wraps this episode of Sloppy Saturdays, this short little micropod. Drop down your thoughts below. Do you agree with Matt Leinart? Do you not agree with Matt Leinart? Should we just stop retiring numbers and just give people plaques? Because, again, they want to be unretired every 5 seconds, it seems like. Like I said, that wraps up this little micropod on my take on Matt Leinart's situation, and we are